Hello, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new, give it a like, a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Now it's the Hammers Headlines Association with the KUMB.com boys. A little bit later as usual. We usually do it sort of mid-afternoon, but obviously the day before the night before the games, we tend to do David Moyes press conference, get what's been said, that type of thing. Now, obviously, usually it's about 1:30 on a Friday. Perfect for Hammers Headlines. Obviously, today we obviously are the team trained at Rush Green this morning, including Skarmaka was training apparently this morning by the looks of it, and yesterday. And then the team flew out to AZ Alkmaar, or flew out to Holland this afternoon, and Moyes and one of the first team were had the press conference a couple of hours ago in Holland. It was actually Tom Souček this week. So let's see what Souček said. In terms of looking ahead the game, obviously, he said, I feel very good because although we're coming to the end of the season, we are ready to play. I hope we are ready mentally and physically. We were very disappointed about the semi-final last year. So now it's even more motivation for us that we are one game for the final and we are 100% on it. We are very happy that we have one more goal in our hand, and that's good for us. But we don't want to come here and just defend the result. Listen, Moyes, just don't defend the result. We want to play our way, which is actually quite defensive anyway. So Souček there with the rallying call in terms of how he's feeling, how the team are feeling. Asked about that sort of obviously being our second semi-final in successive years. Anything we learned from the first time against Eintracht Frankfurt, and he was quite candid, really. To go from the first leg, we did better than last year. That's a massive improvement, and now we are motivated to get to the final, especially as West Ham haven't won for a trophy for a few years, a few being 43, and we want to give the chance to the fans. Asked about the midfield of him, Paqueta and Declan. He says, before it was me and Declan for quite a long time. This season, Lucas came, and it's true that in the first few games, we couldn't get in the right direction of all of us. Sometimes it takes time, and now I hope that we show it tomorrow as well. But we've shown in the last few games that our connection is going in the right direction. That connection being let Declan Rice and Paqueta play, and I'll just sit there and just knock the ball about. That seems fine. That seems fine to me. And as long as you keep doing that, Thomas, I'm more than happy. Obviously, we play AZ Alkmaar. We've obviously played them the first leg last week, and obviously now back at the AFSA Stadio. Very jealous of everyone who's already flying out there. Or getting coaches or ferries or whatnot all the way to Amsterdam. There's going to be a bit of a party atmosphere, I think, around. There won't be a massive queue for the Anne Frank house, I'm sure, tomorrow. I'm sure everyone will be going to that. I asked about AZ. He goes, we know from the videos that we can play from the goalkeeper in a good style. So we also know how they played in the league and the conference. We saw the clips, but West Ham clips or just any clips. But we also saw and learned a lot from the game he played. We want to take how he played in the second half into this one, and that's exactly if we can't play like we did in the first half against them. We can't. But they need to come out and play. They need to come out and they need to score, don't they? So I think that actually benefits us better. In my opinion, obviously, if we get through, obviously we go into the game with a 2-1 aggregate lead. If we come out of the end of the game with an aggregate lead, we're through to the final. And obviously that final is in Prague, and that's obviously played at Slavia Prague, which is Thomas Souček's and Vladimir Coufal's old club. Asked about obviously playing the final in Czechia, which is obviously the new name for the Czech Republic. He says, it's right. Since I knew that the final was in Prague, I told the guys, we need to go there. It's a special motivation to me to go there because I know the stadium very well. He certainly does. He certainly does. Asked whether winning the conference will be a successful season. He says, we are not happy with the end result in the league. We want to be higher. But if you win this trophy, it will be a very successful season. As I said, West Ham have not lifted the trophy for quite a few years, and it'll be also good to give us European football again next year. And I think that's it. I think, it's all or nothing, really. Tomorrow, it's all or nothing, really. We've had so many career-defining or season-defining games. Tomorrow is, isn't it? Because otherwise it'd be a complete damp squid for that Leeds game, that Leicester game, and particularly on Sunday, probably going to be Declan Rice's last game for West Ham. So it'll be great if we've got some something for the fans to cheer on as well when old Big Fat Sam turns up. So yeah, then Sujet left and Mr. Moyes came in, and this is what you want to know. You want to know about team news. What's the team news? What's the team looking like for the game? Moyes, he said, Mikael has travelled, and so has Vladimir Coufal. They're both doing well, so hopefully they both have a good chance of playing. And that basically means they're both playing tomorrow in the David Moyes school of, you know, school of smoke and mirrors. Everything else seems okay. So hopefully we're in the clear. So it sounds like a fully fit squad, bar maybe Gianluca Scamacca, which is fantastic news. Obviously Kira has played great in the last couple of games. I think someone like Vladimir comes in, and particularly also that whole left side for AZ is going to be completely different to the left hand side that played against us at London Stadium. You'll have Corregs, the left back. You'll have Jasper, the Swedish Neymar, and the left wing as well. He came on for 45 minutes yesterday. He's been injured, but on the weekend he came on for the second half after they were 5-0 up at half time against MCM&M. That's what do they expect when they're only playing one person? And he's a rapper. Asked about obviously getting through this, and the same question about the possible final. Moyes said. He said, the motivation is that we have a really tough game. We have to deal with it. We have to go through the process before we go any further. You have to take every opportunity you get to win every competition. I'm really enjoying what we're doing at the moment. We started this competition in August, and we're still in it, and it's in the middle of May. So credit to the lads. And obviously throughout that whole process, we've had we're the first team in history to win all our conference group games, although it's only been around for 2 years. And obviously, we said before, this is our successive semi-finals in successive years in European competitions. And what can we have the experience of playing now in a semi-final, and what can we do to take that forward in terms of ensuring we go one better this time? And he was asked about that question. He says, for us to have qualified for Europe in the first year was incredible after avoiding relegation. The biggest achievement last year was still being 6th and 7th while getting to the semi-final of the Europa League. To reach a final would make a step forward and would be a great achievement. Although there have been a couple of backward steps, getting to the final would be a step forward. Obviously, going in with a 2-1 lead there's very little in it. If we were a goal down, we'd be saying we have a chance. It's an open game, and we have to go for it. Okay, he said we have to go for it. Everyone, are you listening? Come on, Moyes. You said you got to go for it. Thomas Tuchel said you can't hold back. So we're going to be defending all the time. Asked about the players' mentality. Also, experience gained from last time. I hope the experience they've gained from last season will give them a bit of that. And I generally feel we have a group of really talented players with experience and some young players as well. It's a big game for us, and we are fully aware. Obviously, Moyes actually had a win against AZ Alkmaar, their gaff, when he was Everton boss. And he goes, I remember here and one before. I remember it well, and I have to try and do it again. That's the aim. I've got so much respect for Louis van Gaal, and he was the AZ coach at that time. I remember coming here. I always enjoy coming to the Netherlands, but I remember that night very well. So hopefully we can replicate that glory night for Everton a fair few years ago. That's for sure. Asked about last year, he says, well, we took a lot way away from it because we had to beat Sevilla and Leon to get to Frankfurt. Maybe a bit of lack of experience took its toll on us in the end, or maybe because we had a small squad, Moyes, and everyone was knackered by the time we played them, possibly. Hopefully we've learned from it and we can get a bit better and make that step of getting to the final. Asked about AZ in particular, I think they've played really well, not just against us, but they're doing remarkably well in the Dutch league and have been doing so for a few years. I think it'll be a pretty open game. They've shown what they can do when they've been behind. We've not lost in Europe this year. AZ have to do what they have to do in the game, and so do we. It's a big game for them and a big game for us, and we'll earn everything we do. And that's Moyes' rallying cry. So basically, takeaways are Souček's up for it. He wants everyone to go to Czechia for the final. Moyes thinks we're up for it. As he bloody well should be. It's a semi-final. Slender lead. Team news. Everyone looks like they're fit apart from Scamacca, but he was training yesterday. Obviously, he hasn't flown with them, but he has been training in Rush Green as well. So, bar him, we've got a fully fit squad. Everyone else seems to be fit. Antonio seems to be in. Coufal seems to be in. It's all good in the hood. We'll be doing our predicted 11s probably tomorrow lunchtime, and then we'll be doing the watch along and all the good stuff that's coming up for the AZ Alkmaar game. Hollywood do 10 things you need to know about the game in the morning, and that's it. Don't forget, in about an hour or so's time, we've got Mark Robson. We've got Robbo doing a My Hammers 11. Don't have to worry. Don't have to worry. No nerves about the no nerves about the semi-final just yet. We can enjoy it chatting to Robbo, the current under 23 league coach, and obviously play for the Hammers, and particularly in that promotional year 92, 93. So it's going to be a real good chat with Robbo. And that's it, my friends. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, and we'll see you very, very soon.